Premier League, but it all started off with that picture there, Craig. In the Bull Hotel, 1882, Burnley Rovers Rugby Club had a meeting. Association football was just about becoming popular.
Stopped playing rugby, didn't
And took on. Thankfully, we dropped the name Rovers. And
that could have gone bad.
And became Burnley Football Club. Became professional in 1883, and then became a founding member of the Football League in 1888. Because Burnley was actually playing football in a different area of the town altogether. Burnley was actually playing football at the bottom end of Burnley. But Burnley Cricket Club, which is sort of just over there, they were already in existence, and they suggested to the football committee, come and play football next door to us. So this land you're now sat on was a moorland, and it was used for horse racing. And that is the connection back to our address of Turf Moor. It cost Burnley £65 to make this land into a football ground, which was quite a lot of money in those days. So obviously a football pitch, a wall or two, or a gate or two, or an office or two. But we've been here ever since. Founding member of the Football League, 1888, 1914, winning the FA Cup. The one and only time Burnley's ever won the FA Cup. And we've just beaten Liverpool, 1-0. And the significance of the photograph is that the King George V, is presenting the trophy to the Burnley captain Tommy Boyle, and that is the very first time royalty that ever attended a cup final. So 1920-21 season, the very first time Burnley won the First Division Championship. That season though, Burnley lost the first 3 games, but then they went on a 30-match unbeaten run. Is that good?
Yeah.
It was that good that record stood for 82 years. 2004, that record was broken by Arsenal. They've now got the record. They didn't lose a game in the Premier League season. I often tease that Arsenal won't hang on to the record as long as what we do, but then again, it's going to be a record unique to Arsenal. So it was a Monday night. Everybody else had played. Wolves were top on 54 points. Spurs was second on 53 points, and Burnley was third on 53 points. This wouldn't happen today, and Burnley had to play Manchester City, who were 14th. So the expectation for the Burnley fans was absolutely sky high, because all we have to do is go to Main Road at Manchester and beat them, which is exactly what we did. And won the First Division trophy again, the second. So that's the squad. The 2 players bought. Jimmy McIlroy was bought for £8,000. Have you ever heard of him? Jimmy McIlroy. He's Burnley's most capped international player, and he's 86 in October, and he still comes and watches games. And Alex Elder was bought for £5,000. All the rest were homegrown. That's how good Burnley were. So, what better way to celebrate 50 years of that last success than by Burnley achieving Premier League football for the very first time? I defy any Burnley fan who ever thought they would achieve Premier League football. It just wouldn't happen. They're all Burnley. So at the start of this season, there was an incentive to buy your season ticket, and the incentive was you buy your season ticket by whatever date, and Burnley achieved Premier League football at the end of the season, you can have a free season ticket. Right? We all laughed, because it's unbelievable. Not a chance. And we flaming well did it. Cost Burnley Football Club £3 million to give everyone. We're in a room underneath a seated stand called the Bob Lord stand, and that's Bob Lord on the right hand side of the picture. And the road just outside Turf Moor is called the Harry Potts Way, and Harry Potts is the gentleman on the left hand side of the picture. These 2 guys brought a very, very important period to Burnley Football Club. Bob Lord is chairman 1955 to 1981. Long, long time to be chairman. He did outstay his welcome, unfortunately. local businessman, local butcher, and some would say butcher by trade, butcher by nature, because he was that sort of a chap. So because of the success in 59-60, we were entering into Europe, the European Cup. We have had our taste of Europe. Just like to get it back a little bit back again. We got a bye in the first round. We went to play Reims from France, beat them over 2 legs. And then we went to play Hamburg from Germany. Scoreline here, 3-1 to Burnley. Nice, comfortable scoreline. Went out to Hamburg and it ended up 5-4 on the night to Hamburg. So we were knocked out to the quarterfinals of the European Cup. So we have had our taste of Europe. Just like to get it back again. The Football League decided for the very first time that season, 86-87 season, whoever is bottom of the 4th division will be relegated to the Conference League. Burnley was in very great danger of being relegated to the Conference. If that had happened that day, Burnley had been relegated, we wouldn't exist. We wouldn't be here because we couldn't afford the running cost of this stadium. We were getting crowds of less than 3,000 with no money and with no credit. And whilst that game was going on against Leyton Orient, there was a supermarket contract on the table because if Burnley had lost, this would have been a supermarket. Thankfully, we won.
It's quite scary, though.
It's very scary.
Oh, dear.
Thankfully, we won. Because we were playing Leyton Orient and we were also relying on 2 other clubs for their results to go our way, Lincoln and Torquay. No control over those games. And the significance of the photograph is that the smallest man on the pitch is scoring the winning goal with a header, a chap called Ian Britton. Just after half-time, nerve-wracking, 18,000 people is recorded of turning up. It was more like 24,000. It was so important to the town that Burnley stayed in the Football League as what Premier League football is. And I'll tell you another little story around about this horrible time. We had a night match to play, but because you need the floodlights, we hadn't paid the electric bill. We couldn't afford to pay the electric bill. So we got a tip-off from the electric board, somebody telling us that somebody's coming to cut you off. So management sent all the staff home, locked all the doors, electric board arrived, knock on the door, no answer. Electric board went, staff back in, night match on, and we had enough money to pay the electric bill the following day. That's how bad it was.
That's pretty,
Scary.
Right.
Yeah. And it's only 30 years ago when you think about it. Last picture there, Craig.
Right.
Yeah. Affectionately known as Ian Right. Winewood, a massive ex-Arsenal player. Massive ex-England international. Why on earth would he want to come here? The manager, Stan Turner, knew him from his days at Crystal Palace, and also one of his friends was our defender, Mitchell Thomas. And they persuaded Ian Wright to come here. At the end of his playing career, he only played 15 games for us, but we credit him with scoring 3 match-winning goals that helped us achieve promotion. His shirt sales alone covered the cost of his wages, and he was an influence in the changing rooms. And we credit Ian Wright with putting the interest back into Burnley Football Club. So, what do we go and do? We go and achieve Premier League football for the second time. After this, got relegated by 6 points, missed out on 6 points, and then we get Premier League again as runners up behind Leicester. Leicester spent millions of pounds on players. QPR spent millions of pounds on players. Burnley spent £450,000 this season. We achieved Premier League football purely on football merit. Now there's people on here, people like Danny Ings, went to Liverpool, Kieran Trippier, he went to Tottenham. Players like that You have to let go.